Hello, welcome back. It's another glorious day. And for those of you watching on YouTube, you're getting me on my recording day, which is typically a Tuesday. I've been to the gym in the morning to see my personal trainer. I don't put any makeup on a Tuesday because I'm recording the podcast and I'm doing work admin. So I'm just going to put it out there. This is unfortunately what you're getting. If you work with me one-to-one, you don't see Steph in a hoodie with her hair not styled, and you certainly get makeup on. So I'm not apologising. I'm just sharing my reasons why. So anyway, welcome back. It's lovely to have you here. And this week's episode has been completely inspired by the beautiful members of my fabulous WhatsApp community, more commonly known as the Just for Today community. And I created this space. It's a safe, supportive space. It's a collaborative space. So it's not just, even though it's my space that I created, it isn't just me in there talking. It's such a beautiful community. And it's a space where we all support each other without judgment to just navigate life that little bit easier, right? Because, life is tricky at times. And some of the topics that we cover, or some of the things that we have spoken about in the WhatsApp group, just in the last 2 or 3 weeks, journaling, self-love. We talk about things that I'm talking about here on the podcast. We've spoken about intention. We celebrate wins. We come in and share things that have been a challenge for us and get support to move through them. So it really is a beautiful collaborative community. And I'm so grateful to the women that have joined me in that group, which leads me beautifully onto the subject today, because as I say, it's been inspired by my WhatsApp community, and it is that of gratitude. The act of gratitude. It was something that it's something I talk a lot about with my clients. It's something I practice in my day-to-day life. And for some of those that are in the group, it's brand new. They've not really heard about it before. They use the word grateful, of course they do, but it's more about a daily practice or a weekly practice that they're not used to applying to their life. And a couple of the members of the community sort of asked today, how does other people practice gratitude? And it kind of inspired me to do an episode on this practice that I use regularly. Every day? No, that would be an absolute lie. But it is a regular part of my life. And I have a very special journal that I write my gratitudes in, amongst other things that I'm doing on a personal level. One of the conversations we've had in the podcast this week is the fact that Paper Chase in the UK is closing down. Now, my favourite journals are ones I buy from Paper Chase. They are 8x10. They are plain, like just lined notebooks, but they're a good size. And they've got beautiful covers. And Paper Chase in the UK is closing down, and I'm absolutely gutted. It's one of my most favourite stationery shops to go to. So there's been a mass purchase from many of us in the community. I bought last week 4 books because I will use 3 this year, and I haven't been able to find anybody or anyone that does anything similar. But anyway, I'm completely digressing. But that's just some of the stuff that we talk about in the community. So let's come back to gratitude and why I feel it's important. And it really comes back to that living intentionally, like that power of intention that I spoke about a couple of episodes ago. And if you haven't listened, go back and listen, because I consciously choose to live my life intentionally. The act of gratitude really helps me to fix my gaze on more of what I want in my life rather than what I don't want in my life. We have a choice, don't we? We absolutely have a choice. And we can choose to focus our gaze in the area of lack and what we don't have and what we're missing out on and what others might have that we want and all of those types of things. Or we can adjust our gaze and we can place it in the direction of what we already have, what is in our life, what is so beautiful about our lives currently. And a lot of the time it just goes by unnoticed because it's there every day. It's that taking things for granted. We just don't pay attention to them anymore because they're there every day. And it's only when we have those things taken away from us, like COVID being the perfect example that we will have all experienced, when our freedoms were taken away, it had a massive impact on many of us. We couldn't go here. I mean, the first lockdown, everything closed apart from the bare essentials. We had a lot of things. Takeaways were taken away from us. Ooh, double takeaway there. We had things that were closed, clothes shop. All of this, obviously, things went crazy online. But you know, the more we focused on what we didn't have, the more we felt that lack, that frustration, that irritation. I can't do this. I can't do that. So fixing your gaze on what you want more of in your life and what you have in your life as well is really intentional living. Now, I was doing some Googling this morning on research around gratitude, and I got onto the Harvard website. And one of the quotes they got on there is, in positive psychology research, gratitude is strongly and consistently associated with greater happiness. Gratitude helps people feel more positive emotions, experience and be present in their lives, improve their health, deal with adversity, and build strong relationships. I loved that quote. It was a massive study, and if you want to know the link to that, I can let you know. But this is the piece that I took out of it, because that's the impact that gratitude has on me when I regularly practice this act. It allows you the moments when you can just pause and just see what's right in front of you, right at the end of your nose. Because as I said, we are often so fixated in what we want and what we want in the future that we are actually forgetting what is right in front of us. Now, also as women, we do live with cycles every month. Even if you are you've had a hysterectomy, or you've gone through the process of menopause, we still have cycles. We still experience different hormones, and there can be that time of the month, mostly for women that are still in the trenches with their periods. We do have cycles of the month where we feel a little bit more exposed. We might feel more vulnerable. We may feel that our insecurities are much more visible, either to us and or the rest of the world, those that are around us. We may feel a lot harder. We may feel really deeply around those times. And this is where gratitude and really digging into that practice can lift you, can really help you to come out of that fog of I'm not good enough, I'm rubbish, I don't do my job very well, I'm a rubbish mum, I'm a whatever the dialogue that you've got going on around those times when we are kind of really raw. Digging into gratitude is really powerful at these times, but it's also the time when we least want to do anything, because actually we just want to throw in the towel in many cases at that point. So it can really help us to dig in and see our way out of this fog, because we know it's coming and we know that fog is going to lift. But whilst you're in the midst of it, gratitude can be really, really helpful, as well as dream day journaling. That can be really helpful. I mean, I love dream day journaling. I just love this practice, because what it means is I can be intentional again. I can live intentionally at the start of the day. I can say, how do I want today to look? Now, I know we can't control everything. We don't know what's coming. We absolutely can't control that. But we can still be intentional. How do I want to move through today? How do I want to feel today? How do I want to deal with whatever you do know is coming up today? What do I want to feel at the end of the day? What do I want to have achieved today? So there's some of the things that I really love to do, and particularly in those times where I'm feeling really raw and feeling very open and exposed, I will dig into those and really lean in, because it just gives me that power to keep moving forward. So how do I practice gratitude? So as I say, I don't do it every single day physically. A lot of the times I write down my gratitudes, but if I get to the end of the day and I haven't done it, or I haven't done it in the morning, I will at the end of the day just lay in bed as I'm drifting off to sleep and be in that kind of dreamy state where you're just sort of downloading and letting go of your day. And I will just think of things that have gone really well for me, or things that I'm grateful for at the end of that day. So you don't have to do this in a physical form of writing. I love writing. I love journaling. I love pen to paper. As I say, it has to be a certain pen. Those of you watching on YouTube, has to be a certain pen, has to be a certain journal for me. But paper chase. Anyway, I'm digressing again. And I love that. It really feels like an outpouring for me. But for others, they don't want to do it that way. And there's no way to do this wrong. Do this however it feels right for you. But daily journaling can be really great at pulling you out. If you're in a bit of a slump and you are struggling to see a way forward sometimes, stick with the just for today mantra, of course. Just for today, I am going to notice all the things in my life that I'm grateful for. So you can do this in the morning. You can get up. Some people get up. There's a whole Miracle Morning. There's a book called The Miracle Morning, and it's very much about intentional living and getting up, setting a alarm to get up at like 5 or 6 a.m, especially if you have young children and you want that kind of half an hour to yourself just to breathe and have your coffee and sit and do your journaling, whether that's gratitude, writing your affirmations, or just brain dumping into your journal before the day starts. So some people really love the act of doing that at a very early morning, and others prefer to do it at the end of the day when they are kind of finished and they're downloading and they're just letting go of that day. And again, you can do that by writing it, or you can do it by just sitting and pausing for a moment, closing your eyes and breathing and letting go, and just asking yourself, what have I got to be grateful for that's happened in my life today? And then you can do it a different way as well. Then when I first started, I didn't want to get into a practice of morning or evening, because actually I found it a little bit clunky when I first started doing this type of practice. So what I did, and what I still do, is do it throughout the day. So in my book, in my work bag, in my personal handbag, I have a small little notebook. And as I go through my day, when I was starting it, as I was going through my day, I would just set the intention that I'm going to notice everything in my life that I'm grateful for. And I would write as I went through the day. I would just write in my little notebook. And it really got me into that strong habit of noticing, notice. Because it's that power of intention again. And then what we notice becomes, what we think becomes. So if I'm deciding at the start of my day, as I move through today, I am going to actively, consciously seek out everything that I'm grateful for. It really helped kind of embed that behaviour into an unconscious behaviour. So now I don't necessarily feel like I have to write as I go through my day. I just notice. I'll just notice. Like if I'm driving along the road and somebody comes out in front of me, and obviously I don't want to crash into them, but if they come out in front of me and slow me down, I often just say to myself, even if I'm running late, I'm grateful that they did that. There's a reason they've slowed me down. And I'll never know that reason, but I'm grateful nonetheless. If a song comes on the radio and I'm driving, I think I'm grateful this song has come on because it's lifted my spirits as I'm driving along and I'm having a good old sing-song in the car or whatever. So I set the intention, and so now it's a natural occurrence for me as I'm driving along to see everything that I'm grateful for. It just became a habit for me because I set that intention every single morning. So what I want to say to you today is, just for today, set the intention to see all the things right in front of you that you are grateful for. And you might be thinking, I just don't know where to start. Well, here's a few prompts for you. I wake up and I, first of all, am grateful for the fact that I've woken up. That was my very first gratitude in the morning. I am grateful for another day on this planet to understand myself a little bit better, to experience new things. And I kind of start my day like that. I also send out gratitude for being in a safe and warm bed in a secure home, because I will never, ever not be grateful for that. There are a lot of situations where people don't have that. The fact of a nice, dry, warm duvet. I give thanks to my duvet every single morning. And many of you won't know that me and my husband have a king-size bed. And we have our own double duvets each on our king size bed. And a few people laugh at the fact that we do that, but we love it. We love the fact we've got our own duvets. It doesn't stop any skin to skin, shall I say? But what it does, I like to wrap myself like a giant cocoon in my duvet. He gets hot. So it means that we have our own duvets to do as we want with. I love it. And every morning I'm just like, oh, I love my duvet. And actually when I get into bed, I give thanks to my duvet as well. So the warm shower or bath that you get into that wakes you up, your toothbrush, the water, the clean water that we have running through our taps that we can clean our teeth with and not get sick as a result of that. It's the fact that my toilet flushes, the toilet paper that I get to use, all of those things, the food in my cupboards, the sun shining or the wind blowing so my washing gets dried. I love putting my washing out on the line. I'm so grateful when I can get my washing and I've got some on the line now, and it makes me really, really happy. Excuse me. My health. I am healthy. Yeah, I wake up sometimes, I've got a few aches and pains, but I get to wake up and I get to stretch out those aches and pains. And I have no ailments. I'm generally a very well person. I'm extremely grateful for that I can move through my day, that I'm not restricted in any way. I'm grateful for the loved ones, their health, having them in my life, the joy they bring into my life. My work, maybe my business may be the same for you, the work that you get to do, or the people that you know within your workplace. The car that you drive, like I said before, things that I look out for gratitude when I'm driving, the fact that it gets me from A to B without a blown tyre or breaking down. I've got a really beautiful sturdy car and I'm grateful for my car every single day. And my animals, I've got a dog and 2 cats, and I'm always putting gratitude out there for my animals because they just bring me so much joy, almost as much, possibly more, than my children. So when we really adjust our gaze and set that intention to notice everything beautiful that we have in our life, rather than everything that isn't, turn off the news, don't do any of that jazz. Bring your attention inwards, set that intention just for today. I am going to notice everything that's around me. It's all there to be seen. We just have to adjust our gaze. So I really hope that's been helpful for you. Gratitude is a really important way to move through the world, and I really hope that that's been useful for you today. Now, I have today brought my cards back. I keep forgetting. I've made notes, but I actually put them right in front of my nose today so I wouldn't forget, because a few episodes ago I was doing cards for you and I have forgotten. Just adjusting myself so I can do on the YouTube. So for those of you that are listening and not watching this, I will read out the card and I will describe it to you. But these beautiful cards are my Emma Mumford cards, Spiritual Queen Oracle cards. So I'm just going to split the deck. And the card for today is Trust. So I'm just going to show that to the lovely people on YouTube. And it's Trust. And it's 2 hands, one hand holding on to another hand. It's a beautiful card. And if you do come into the WhatsApp community, you will be able to see them. I will put them in there each week. I am setting the intention that I will remember to do this for every episode going forwards. But the message for this card is, trust. The universe wants to see your level of faith. This is a time where the universe is asking you to trust. Although things may seem uncertain right now, this is a call to go within and listen to your heart. Keep affirming all is well, and know that your spiritual team is taking care of you. You have nothing to fear here. Just trust that all will work out for the highest good of everyone involved. And sometimes we're not meant to know how life will unfold. It's within that deep space of trust that you will learn your deepest spiritual lessons. So allow yourself to be present. That feels somewhat relevant to what I've been talking about today. And trusting in the process and being able to see all the beauty that's right in front of you. So if you would like to join our beautiful WhatsApp community, I'm going to post a link to that in the show notes. And you can also find me mostly on Instagram, where I will post a link on my link tree there at I am Steph Granger. So for the sake of those on YouTube, it's been lovely to have you join me. I will see you again next time. Take care.